It was never simply an acting flourish. Among Harry Callahan's many unforgettable traits, it isn't his weapon or even his voice that stands out most. It's the unmistakable squint. That hardened stare became central to the character, projecting constant alertness and restrained rage. Yet the expression wasn't crafted for the role. It came from a physical condition. During years of filming spaghetti westerns under the blazing sun in the deserts of Spain and Italy, Clint Eastwood developed a heightened sensitivity to bright light. Endless hours exposed to harsh sunlight, often without adequate eye protection, caused him to squint instinctively in bright settings. Rather than disguising it, director Don Siegel embraced it. Lighting choices and camera placement were carefully designed to emphasize Eastwood's narrowed gaze, transforming a physical limitation into a visual strength. The squint added intensity, making Callahan appear sharper, more threatening, and dangerously unpredictable. What viewers assumed was deliberate performance was actually Eastwood managing discomfort, and in the process, it became one of the defining features of a character known for his cold stare and restrained menace. Budget cuts. Number 17 focuses on how reduced funding unexpectedly improved the film. Creative breakthroughs don't always begin with inspiration. Sometimes they emerge from restriction. Halfway through production, Dirty Harry suffered a serious setback when Warner Brothers reduced the budget by nearly 30%. Initially, it appeared disastrous. Looking back, it may have been the film's saving grace. Large-scale action scenes were either redesigned or eliminated altogether. A major car chase intended to race through San Francisco's steep streets was replaced by a tense-foot pursuit. What might have been a noisy, effects-driven spectacle became a raw, grounded chase that fit the film's gritty tone. The climactic confrontation was also shaped by necessity. The quarry, chosen largely because it was inexpensive, offered an isolated and almost end-of-the-world atmosphere. Its harsh, uneven landscape became the ideal setting for Harry's final face-off with Scorpio. Stark, violent, and unforgettable. Forced to think creatively, the filmmakers embraced simplicity, allowing suspense and character to lead the story. What began as a financial cut ultimately became a defining creative shift, proving that sometimes restraint delivers the strongest impact. Number 18. Crime in San Francisco declined after the release. While Dirty Harry sparked intense debate among scholars, critics, and legal professionals, something surprising unfolded in San Francisco itself. Within 3 months of the film's debut, the city recorded a noticeable reduction in violent crime. The drop wasn't dramatic, but it was substantial enough to draw attention from local media and police departments. Some dismissed it as coincidence or seasonal fluctuation. Others suggested a different explanation: fear. The film introduced a fictional lawman who ignored bureaucracy and confronted criminals with lethal certainty. Stories circulated that real officers might follow his example, or worse, that someone like Harry Callahan could actually be on the streets. For potential offenders, the possibility of encountering such a figure may have been enough to hesitate. It wasn't an official strategy, but a cultural ripple effect. The fact that a single movie could influence perception and behavior, even briefly, demonstrated just how deeply the film embedded itself in public consciousness. Sequel written before the film's release. Number 19 reveals that the sequel was already underway before audiences even saw the original. Typically, sequels follow box office success. Dirty Harry broke that pattern. Screenwriter John Milius, famous for his aggressive dialogue and bold storytelling, was so confident in the character's impact that he began writing magnum force while the first film was still being made. He wasn't hired by the studio at that point. He acted on pure conviction. Believing Eastwood's portrayal would resonate and become iconic, Milius crafted a sequel that pushed Callahan into darker moral territory, forcing him to confront corruption within the system itself. When Dirty Harry premiered and proved successful, Warner Brothers immediately approved the follow-up. Thanks to Milius's early work, the studio capitalized on momentum without delay. Eastwood returned to the role backed by even greater public support. It was an uncommon gamble in Hollywood, one taken before financial proof existed, and it paid off decisively. Number 20. Eastwood prevented Don Siegel from being fired. Behind the scenes, conflict nearly derailed the production before it gained traction. Early footage alarmed studio executives. They disliked the rough tone and unconventional pacing, worrying Siegel's approach would hurt commercial appeal. Matters escalated when Warner Brothers sent representatives to the set with clear instructions: remove the director. Siegel refused to compromise his vision. His survival didn't come from negotiation. It came from Clint Eastwood. Holding final approval, Eastwood issued an ultimatum. If Siegel was dismissed, he would leave the project. No alternatives, no discussions. Faced with losing their star and producer, the studio retreated. The moment cemented Eastwood's loyalty and expanded his influence in Hollywood. It also stands as a rare example of an actor risking everything to protect a director's vision, a decision that ultimately helped create a classic. Number 21. Early drafts featured a different title and location. The film almost emerged under a completely different identity. Initially titled Dead Right, the story was set in Seattle rather than San Francisco. Writers envisioned a darker, rain-soaked environment to reflect the script's tone. Seattle's quiet streets and moody skyline suited a solitary detective, but it lacked the visual dynamism San Francisco offered. As development continued and Eastwood became involved, the setting was reconsidered. San Francisco's hills, landmarks, and tension between beauty and danger provided stronger contrast. The city's real struggles with crime added urgency. Renaming the film and relocating the story may appear minor, but both choices proved crucial. The title Dirty Harry stuck in public memory, and San Francisco gave the film its unmistakable identity. Without those changes, the movie might never have achieved lasting recognition. Number 22. Sinatra influenced the move to San Francisco. Before Eastwood took the role, Frank Sinatra was the studio's preferred choice for Harry Callahan. During that phase, Sinatra had input on creative decisions, including location. The original script was set in New York City, but Sinatra advocated for San Francisco. Familiar with California and the Bay Area, he felt the city's steep streets, diverse districts, and social tension would elevate the story. Although Sinatra withdrew due to a wrist injury, his influence remained. The production committed to San Francisco, tailoring the script to its landmarks, crime patterns, and politics. Around the same time, the Zodiac killer case had shaken the city, making the setting feel disturbingly relevant. Even without appearing on screen, Sinatra left a lasting mark on the film's atmosphere. Number 23. Terrence Malick quietly rewrote portions of the script. Before becoming known for his poetic filmmaking style, Terrence Malick contributed to Dirty Harry without credit. As a respected young writer, Malick was brought in discreetly to refine the script's psychological depth. His influence is most visible in the character of Scorpio. Under his revisions, the villain evolved from a generic antagonist into an unsettling, erratic presence. Minor dialogue changes and behavioral details added layers of unpredictability. Though never officially acknowledged, multiple sources later confirmed Malick's involvement. His subtle touch enriched the film, preventing it from slipping into exaggeration. One of cinema's most contemplative directors quietly shaped one of its most aggressive thrillers. Number 24. Audie Murphy was nearly cast as Scorpio. Before Andrew Robinson secured the role, Audie Murphy was briefly considered. Known as a decorated war hero and Western star, Murphy represented a shocking departure from expectations. He was reportedly intrigued by the opportunity to subvert his heroic image by portraying a disturbed killer. Sadly, Murphy died in a plane crash in May 1971, shortly before filming began. With that possibility gone, Robinson took the role, delivering a feral, unsettling performance that defined Scorpio. Still, the idea of Murphy in the part remains one of Hollywood's great unanswered questions. Number 25. The badge toss came from Eastwood. The final image of Harry Callahan throwing away his badge wasn't scripted. It originated with Eastwood, inspired by classic Western endings like High Noon, where the hero abandons his star after losing faith in the system. Eastwood felt Harry deserved the same resolution. The gesture symbolized finality. Harry wasn't merely angry. He was finished. Siegel initially hesitated, questioning whether audiences would see it as resignation or moral retreat. Eastwood stood firm. The scene was filmed without dialogue, letting the action speak. The silent toss conveyed everything. A man walking away from a system he no longer believed in. Today, it's regarded as one of cinema's most powerful closing shots. Simple, stark, unforgettable. More than 50 years later, Dirty Harry continues to inspire debate and fascination. Beyond its portrayal of justice, the stories behind its creation reveal the pressure, loyalty, and creative risk that shaped it. Each of the 25 revelations shows how much intention went into a film that still resonates. From casting decisions to quiet rewrites and behind-the-scenes battles, Dirty Harry proves that what happens off-camera can be just as compelling as what unfolds on screen. Which fact stood out to you most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, like and subscribe for more untold stories from behind the silver screen.